As the next Grand Master, I must protest.
What you must do is trust me.
How do you know his intentions are pure?
I don't. Now, the all-seeing eye, it's symbolic of the eye of God, his eternal care over the universe. Now, both the Hebrews and the Egyptians, we believe, derived their use of the Masonic eye from the natural inclination of the formative mind to take a human organ and to assign it as a symbol of its closest matching function. For instance, the foot denotes swiftness, the arm, strength, the hand, fidelity. The candidate has been accepted. Congratulations, Brother Trenton. You are now initiated into the first principles of Masonry.
Here's the case file, Detective Weed.
Great, thanks very much. Trenton, is it?
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming. Who's this?
I'm Mr. Reeves' attorney.
That's okay. Trenton, tell me what happened.
Well, last I could recall is I said bye to my brother Einar.
Trenton,
Hello, brother Einar.
how was it?
Feel alive again.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you, brother Einar.
Your brother was there?
Well, he's not my actual brother.
You know, I call him my brother. He says I'm his brother. It's kind of like a whole, like, Mason thing.
What were you doing there at the lodge last night?
I was becoming a Mason.
What does that entail?
You don't have to answer that, Trent.
I'm not supposed to say anything.
Because of the Mason thing or because of the lawyer thing? Okay. All right, then. If anything occurs to you or you feel like talking and it's okay with him, give me a call. I'm available at that number 24/7. Becoming a Mason?
What's the matter with you? I think you'd be doing cartwheels right now.
Did you see what those ingrates wrote about me? They called me an investigative journalist. You know I'm a freelance writer.
Who cares if they called you Mary Poppins?
Don't patronize me, Danielle. It's a pure role.
People like pure role. Hey, check it out. Your story's leading on TMZ. Jeez, Rothwell, get a maid.
Well, I had one, but she quit. Heads up. Oh.
Where's the fish?
Never had one.
Why the bowl?
It was a failed attempt by a passing fancy to instill some sort of domestic responsibility.
Passing fancy, huh? Must have been your charm.
Why are you still here?
You need to get changed. We gotta go.
Go where?
See about a job.
I've been up for 36 hours straight. The last 8 with attorneys. In what world do you think I want to leave my apartment right now?
How about the world where I get 10% of your take, which would be 5 digits for me?
Let's go.
Maybe you should have worn a tie. Really?
Always prepared.
Sign and date.
What's this?
Confidentiality agreement. We trust that you can keep a secret, Mr. Rothwell?
Depends on the price.
Judith, can we get some tea for our guests? We represent the estate of a man by the name of Einar Burkhalter. Do you know who he is?
Should we?
Mr. Burkhalter was president of König Bank de Suisse. 5 days ago, Mr. Burkhalter was brutally murdered. The authorities are not acting as fast as we would like. We would like Mr. Rothwell to investigate the murder.
My client is a writer, not a cop.
We've been led to believe that Mr. Rothwell is something of an intellectual adept. Mr. Rothwell?
A maid wearing 4-inch heels, Prada, perfectly manicured nails, a ring by Cartier, and wearing Les larmes s'arrient des thieves of Baccarat. If I'm not mistaken.
I told you it was perfect. My name is Rana Burkhalter. Einar was my father. I'm sorry for the deception, but my father's people are feeling a bit overprotective. I'd like Mr. Rothwell to start investigating my father's murder immediately. He'll have lodging here and access to anything he needs.
Miss Burkhalter, I haven't agreed to anything.
Your contract guarantees a minimum of $100,000 for 4 weeks of your time. In addition, I'm granting you exclusive international publishing rights in any periodical or medium of your choice.
Please understand.
If you do find the killer, you'll receive an extra $150,000. With your commission, of course. Shall we begin?
Appreciate your desire for speed, but I don't have my things.
I've already sent someone to retrieve your things. Follow me to your accommodations, and then we'll meet in my office to discuss the terms further.
Miss Burkhalter, I understand that you've hired me, but you do not own me.
Actually, she kind of does.
Wow. An heiress with entitlement issues. That's original.
A self-absorbed bachelor with commitment and hygiene issues. It's also original.
Touche.
Have fun. I'll be in Cabo.
This is you. Excuse me while I dispose of these people. Your cars are waiting. Meet me in my office in 15.
Sorry I'm late, Miss Burkhalter. I got lost.
Take a seat. I apologize for my demeanor earlier. I've found I have to put on a bit of an act, or these men feel they can walk all over me.
For what it's worth, I think you handled them brilliantly.
They can be quite tedious to manage.
What was it like growing up in a place like this?
I wouldn't really know. I was born and raised in Dubai.
Dubai?
My father had oil investments over there, and my mother was a consultant. After she passed away, I moved around a lot.
I assume you know what your name means in Arabic.
Do tell me, you smart man.
Rana is a beautiful and eye-catching woman. Or simply to gaze upon.
Does my name suit me?
Are those for me?
Yes.
They didn't tell me it was like this. Not to be crude, but there are more efficient ways of killing someone.
This is everything we have so far.
If this is making you...
No, it's, I'm just a bit raw still. We weren't exactly on the best terms when it happened.
Miss Burkhalter?
Yes?
Your guest has arrived?
We'll be right there. There's someone you need to meet.
Did they mention anything about the paper he's holding?
No, nothing.
If he was holding it when he died, he would have at least dropped it or clenched his fist. There are no wrinkles on this paper. It's in perfect condition.
Why would the police withhold evidence from me?
Typical.
You don't like cops? I would have thought with your particular skill set, it would have been right up your alley.
What's there to like? They're a bunch of incompetent, badge-heavy, gun-toting imbeciles with tiny schmeckles.
Detective Tiny Schmeckel at your service.
Cyrus Rothwell, freelance writer and career asshole. Nice.
Detective Weed here is heading up the investigation into my father's murder. I brought Cyrus on board to do some additional research, as he's an internationally acclaimed investigative journalist.
Freelance writer.
I expect that won't be a problem.
No, not at all. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you out.
Actually, you can start by answering some of his questions.
We didn't want to alarm you. It says, Hiram's blood will spill again if he doesn't reveal the secrets of the stone to the apprentice.
May I? It's written on the letterhead of the Grand Masonic Lodge. And here at the bottom it reads, Liberté, Égalité et Fraternité.
He speaks French.
And Arabic.
Impressive. Well, we read it as a death threat.
So my life's in danger and you thought it best not to tell me.
The target of the threat was specific, and while we're very concerned about you, your name isn't Hiram.
Neither was my father's, detective.
Ma'am, it's time for the meeting.
I'm taking my own car. Cyrus, ride with him.
A meeting? Have to deal with lawyers again?
Worse than tiny schmeckled cops.
That's like asking if I'd rather get shot or stabbed.
Shot. Always go with shot. Read that article you wrote. I like how you handled the senator. Took balls.
Thanks.
Now you're here in my town, looking into a case.
Maybe I'll let you tag along.
You ready for the breakdown?
Mm-hmm.
See Mr. Slick over there in the three-piece suit spitting into his phone? That's Tobias Sheffield.
Yeah, he works at Burkhalter.
He was his second in command for over 20 years. When Burkhalter died, he automatically became the acting president of the company. Now, those two cats are with the Freemasons. The younger, angry-looking one is Jericho Beck. Something of a prodigy, actually. He became a Mason on his 18th birthday, and in less than 3 years, they raised him to a 32nd degree.
You said angry?
Well, it's no secret that he has a bit of a violent streak. He was charged last year with assault when someone called one of his Mason brothers an apron-wearing faggot.
What about Xavier over there?
That is none other than Grand Master Sheldon Lombard. He's the head of the order in this state for the last 15 years and active in the order for over 40 years. He's got members of the Masonic Lodge in every area of civil service. Doctors, lawyers, judges, cops.
Cops?
Not all cops.
So besides Tobias Sheffield, everyone here's in the will?
Every single one of them, including your boss.
Please be seated, everyone. I'm Gladys O'Malley. We're joined today by Detective Leon Weed and Mr. Cyrus Rothwell, who is helping the police investigate the murder. Now, I've been assigned to execute the last will and testament of the late Einar Burkhalter. However, until the case has been resolved, all of Mr. Burkhalter's assets are frozen.
Are you suggesting that we're suspects?
Everyone's a suspect.
My mistake.
Mr. Sheffield, you have been acting as president of the bank since the death of Mr. Burkhalter. But until we can clear you of any involvement related to his passing, the Board of Trustees will assume control until you can return. Mr. Lombard and Mr. Beck, representing the Masonic Temple. The late Mr. Burkhalter left a percentage, I'm sure you are aware, equates to, let's just say it's quite a sum. The sum will be withheld from the lodge until all members of the Freemasons can be cleared of any involvement in the death of Mr. Burkhalter with motive to expedite funds. Miss Burkhalter, All of your father's accounts, including your joint and any earnings made on his investments, will be held until you can be cleared of any involvement.
I'm sorry. What is she supposed to live off of?
She could get a job.
Sympathetic as I am, the law is quite clear.
I'm more than capable of managing.
Yeah, everyone, please don't leave the state without notifying my office first.
We're done here. Thank you.
Mrs. O'Malley? Now, what happens if the case is never resolved?
If the case is considered cold and closed after a period of 12 months, all of Mr. Burkhalter's assets will belong to the state.
That's awfully convenient for two loyal representatives of the state to drag their feet in this investigation.
Mr. Sheffield, I'm a third party. Good detective lead here represents the state. Good day.
I'm not a foot dragger. Am I a foot dragger? No. Don't answer that.
What's this?
Your clothes.
These are not my clothes.
Perhaps they should be.
And what is this?
It's a digital voice recorder. I thought you could use that rather than writing that little coloring book of yours.
And what is this?
Those are the keys to my car, so you can get to work.
Miss Burkhalter.
Call me Rana.
Rana.
Good night, Cyrus.
Come on. I'm gonna need you to use your imagination. We are in the heart of the Master Mason's Lodge. We are standing in the center of King Solomon's temple. There are 4 stations: north, south, east, and west. And of course, the Wedyat, the all-seeing eye.
I got it, and the altar's over there.
No. The altar is right here. Right there. I'm gonna need you to lay down right here.
Excuse me?
Please. You'll be the body, if you don't mind. Oh, that my tongue might be torn from its roots, my heart plucked from its chest, my body cut in two with my entrails burned to ashes, should I ever break my Masonic oath. It's quite simple, really. 3 grisly punishments for breaking the code.
All right, so I punished him 3 times in a grisly...
Do you know anything about Freemasonry? Anything?
Watch it.
Freemasonry predates the 10th century. 3 men, Jubileum, Jubilee, and Jubilo, were stonemasons. They worked for Hiram Abiff. He was the chief architect during the time of Solomon. Have you ever built anything out of stone? Look, it isn't easy, let alone erecting the most intricate and holy structure in history. Building a wall that wouldn't crumble under pressure made you a god. Secret is knowing how to do it.
So we're looking for somebody who knows the secret of how to build a city.
No, not just a city, a fortress. He who builds the wall protects the gold. I'll tell you this much. Whoever murdered that man cannot keep a secret.
Mr. Rothwell.
Yes, Mr. Beck.
What can I help you with?
I was hoping to discuss the case and examine the building for any latent evidence.
We can't be disturbed right now, I'm sorry.
Brother Beck! We will be very happy to speak with Mr. Rothwell.
With all due respect, Worshipful Grand Master.
Did you kill Burkhalter?
No.
Did I kill him?
Of course not.
Then we have nothing to hide, and we have everything to gain. And besides, he is a Rothwell. And the Rothwells are not strangers to Freemasonry. Freemasonry is merely a social system of morality. We combine science with spirituality and elements of esoteric learning in order to help good men become better.
Esotericism, spirituality. Okay.
There are many pathways to knowledge. Science cannot claim all of them.
And these other pathways, are those the secrets you keep from the outsiders?
Well, there's not much secret to them anymore, not in the age of the internet. But their value lies in the personal meaning given to the individual symbols and the messages.
But if the purpose is to make men better, then why not make it available for everyone?
They are.
That's so. How?
All a man has to do is become a Mason.
And how does one become a Freemason?
Ask one.
This was found in Einer's hand. It was placed there by the killer after he was murdered.
I wasn't told about this.
Does the name Hiram mean anything to you?
Does the name Hiram Abiff or Hiram King of Tyre mean anything to you?
He was a widow's son, a man of Tyre, full of wisdom and understanding, cunning in all ways.
Hiram of Tyre is the same man. We consider Hiram Abiff to be essentially the godfather of Freemasonry.
He was a builder, an actual stonemason, but what does that have to do with this?
I like you, Mr. Rothwell. I believe you're ready for a little more light. I'll allow you to examine the Grand Lodge for evidence. However, as to not upset the other brethren, I must insist that we go at night, after the others have gone.
Is this your first case?
No. I prefer to write, though. Hey, Jericho.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be presumptuous, and I know that the Masonry is secretive, but are there any incidents that the public don't know about?
Let's just say that the public has a lot of misperceptions about the Freemasons.
Well, it sounds like you had an adventure.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it that. What are you doing around here?
One of the Masons who was at the lodge that night had his car stolen. There's a chop shop around the corner. I thought I'd take a look.
And?
Nothing. What's your next move, hotshot?
I'm going to interview Tobias Sheffield.
Good luck with that.
Will do.
Be safe.
Adios.
Have my butler, he's bringing the papers right now. I'll get it done. Can't do it if you're here talking to me. I'm out.
Everybody around here has a butler.
Why do something yourself when someone else can do it for you?
Right. How are you, Mr. Sheffield?
Very well, thank you, Mr. Cyrus Rothwell. What can I do you for?
What can you tell me about Einar Burkhalter?
It always worried me how much time he spent with them.
Who?
The Freemasons. His brothers, as he called them.
So you think they had something to do with this?
We are talking about a group of people responsible for nearly every political revolution since the 1700s.
Except Kennedy. What can you tell me about his relationship with his daughter?
That little girl broke his heart. After his wife died, Rana was all that was left in his life that wasn't related to work or the Masons. Then one day she just left.
Do you know why?
Why does any teenager want to leave home? But it is suspicious that she returned right before he dies.
So now you think that Rana has something to do with this?
Look, I know she's your boss, but think. What if she was working with the Masons? Now, I'm not saying she'd be the one doing the killing, but a pretty face and a deep pocketbook is very persuasive. Whoa, you can't come in here.
Sorry. I got it. Sorry.
Is she okay?
She's all right. Had a bit of a scare.
What happened?
Looks like he's getting desperate.
Did you see anyone, Rana?
No, I was just showering and I saw that.
Any signs of 4th century?
No.
Prince?
We're working on it.
You okay? I have to go back to the Grand Lodge. You can wait at the police station.
Or I could come with you.
I don't think the Freemasons. Or you could come with me.
I'll just get ready.
So, you carry a gun?
No, of course not. Why? Do you think I need one?
No, just wondering. Did she tell you she was raised in Dubai?
She mentioned that.
Did she also tell you that at 14 she left her father and bounced around in the Middle East and Europe?
She did.
I mean, she knew she was sitting on a fat inheritance, and we knew she hated how much time he spent with the Masons. She knew it was there. I mean, even if she's not the one doing the deed, not that hard to connect the dots.
You're quiet.
Thinking.
You want me to be quiet?
No, that's okay.
Good. I talk if I want to. I'm just trying to use the tension.
Sorry, I'm a writer, not a talker.
Speaking of, did you bring the recorder I gave you?
Oh, you know what? I think I left it in the room. Sorry.
I remembered it for you.
Thank you so much.
It was really my pleasure.
It happened over here.
Was the carpet replaced?
After the police finished their investigation, I felt it was appropriate to do so. The bloodstains were disturbing. Well, Andrew will lock up as we leave. Please be sure the door closes firmly when you exit.
You're leaving?
My usefulness dries up at about 6:30 in the evening.
We appreciate your time.
Keep your mind open.
Keep your mind open.
I always do. It is 11:43 p.m. in the Gothic room. Image 1 is where the murder took place. The carpets have been replaced. The area has been wiped clean of all evidence. You okay? Let's see what these guys are hiding. I've seen this symbol before. Framed artwork in the pyramid altar room features a symbol in the bottom left corner. It looks just like a...
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Okay, it looks...
Cyrus? Thanks.
Mr. Lombard?
What's our strategy?
Get the hell out of here.
Copy.
Oh, shit. Come on. Go. Rana. Rana.
Hey, sleepy. And no, before you ask, this isn't heaven.
Of course not. Weed is here.
I told you you'd be all right.
How bad is it?
Nothing a couple aspirins, some ice, and a bottle of booze can't fix.
Well, all right.
What was that for?
Does a girl need a reason?
Well, how bad of a beating would I have to take? I've been meaning to ask you about this. What's the story?
It was my mother's. She gave it to me when I was 7. It's my first piece of big girl jewelry.
What's it mean?
And I'm not entirely sure. By the time I was old enough to care, she had passed away, and by then I wasn't on speaking terms with my father.
Is it too soon to ask you what happened between you and him?
Are you interrogating me, Mr. Rothwell?
Well, if I am, I may as well make it professional.
Oh, yes. It's real professional.
Shh, this is some serious stuff here. Okay. It is 7:45 a.m. and I'm here with Miss Burkhalter. Say hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Miss Burkhalter, what prompted you to leave home and estrange your father at the tender young age of 14?
Well, Mr. Rothwell, you're wrong to assume that I was ever tender. And how about you answer some questions for me? Like, why don't you like cops?
I am sorry, Miss Burkhalter, but we are discussing your past, not mine.
So I give you all my deepest, darkest secrets, and I get nothing in return. That's typical.
My grandfather.
He was a cop?
No. He was an author. Brilliant man. The only person I ever looked up to. When he said something, it was truth.
So what happened?
When I was 15, his house burned down with both of my grandparents inside. And it just so happens, the same day, the same hour, there was a shootout at a bank with the cops. So the next day, I went to the police station and asked them to investigate the fire as criminal arson. But they were so caught up in finding the guys who killed their brothers in blue that they ignored the case. So it was at that moment that I decided to dedicate my life to finding the truth.
I think I'm starting to understand how you feel.
But watch it. Some might think you have a soft side. Hey. Look at that. Cop with the donut.
Just get in the car.
This is cute.
Don't mess with my process.
Wouldn't dream of it. Listen, I'm not sure how much you'll be able to pick up with it being in my bag, but it was on the entire time.
It's kind of high tech for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a gift.
From who?
Rana.
What's she doing giving you presents?
Got me.
Come on, really?
Okay, this banal conversation has concluded.
Don't leave without a donut. Come on. Come on.
No donut. Listen, I think we've been going about this the wrong way.
Oh, yeah? We're going about this the wrong way?
We're focused on finding the who, and the who is focused on finding the what. And if we find the what, we will find the who.
I'll find the who. You got a line on the what? I'm all ears.
I think I found something at the temple last night. A symbol. I'll let you know.
The what?
Howdy.
Hey, man. How are you?
Good. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you, Earl.
Check out the unit.
That's right.
Just lock up when you leave.
Thanks.
Is that your grandfather?
Yeah.
You want to clue me in on what you're looking for?
Remember the symbol I saw at the lodge?
Yeah, I didn't see it, but...
What if she's working with the Masons?
I mean, she's not the one doing the deed. Not that hard to connect the dots.
You said you didn't see it.
Yeah, no, I didn't. Just go with me. Is there an envelope in there with your name on it?
my dear Cyrus, if you are reading this letter, I have passed on before revealing to you my secret, my privilege, my duty, my oath, and my bond. You have been blessed with a sharp mind, Cyrus. I implore you to foster this great gift. However, in your pursuit of truth and enlightenment, know that there are things in this world that defy our finite understanding. I have found a place here within the Order of the Freemasons, a learning and a comprehension that does not negate my academic understanding, but amplifies it exponentially. Myself and my brother in the Order, Einar Burkhalter, have been selected as guardians of a great secret. The secret of Sanctum Aurum cannot fall into the hands of the unenlightened, no matter what the cost may be. The most critical element of this secret lies not in chemical composition, but the ability to conceal its truth. Do not treat this lightly, for if the call of Sanctum Aurum reaches your ears, divulging its secret can lead to your destruction. At the opportune time, this book will come to you, and you must heed my words. Know of my love, Grandpa Rothwell.
What was that?
I don't know.
Make sure we're not being followed. Wait. Get everyone together. I have a plan.
All I'm saying is there's no new suspects. I don't know what we're doing here. I mean, it's billable hours. I could care less. But it's just...
I understand.
What's the point?
What happened to you two?
I'll tell you later. Is everyone here?
Everyone's here, just as you requested.
Hold on, what happened?
I think I found the what.
Well, if that's true, you sure you want to wave it around in front of a possible killer?
Everyone? There's been a new development. This was my grandfather's. He was also a Freemason. Are you familiar with this symbol? Do the words Sanctum Aurum mean anything to you two?
Sanctum Aurum? What's that?
Holy gold.
In Latin, it translates to holy gold. As for what it truly means, we need these two to tell us.
It's an amazing discovery, Cyrus.
You tell me how you came by this book.
It was one of the few items that survived the fire that killed my grandparents. There was a letter inside addressed to me. It spoke of a great secret.
There are things I desperately want to tell you. But these are things that can only be told to a brother Mason. Do you understand me?
I do. The oaths, the bonds of brotherhood.
Cyrus, are you asking me something?
I want to become a Freemason.
Most worshipful Grand Master, I present Cyrus Rothwell.
Welcome. Einar Burkhalter has been taken from us before his time. And now certain men, their minds poisoned by ignorance, seek to place blame upon us. Fortunately, we have the grandson of our own Peter Rothwell, assisting the police and seeking to bring the killer to justice. Mr. Rothwell has made some discoveries which may lead to the identity of the killer. However, in order for him to fully comprehend these discoveries, he now requires the further enlightenment of Freemasonry. Brethren, Cyrus Rothwell, for your consideration.
Brethren, vote with your hearts, and remember, white balls elect, and black cubes reject.
As you know, a single black vote removes the candidate from consideration. However, as Grand Master, I will allow Mr. Rothwell to make a plea on his own behalf, after which we will vote again. Mr. Rothwell.
What am I supposed to say?
You're the writer. Good luck.
Thanks. Frankly, I recognize that I'm not an ideal candidate. My knowledge of the Freemasons was limited before I read my grandfather's journal. You see, I have always sought the truth. And now, from the grave, my grandfather tells me that I need to embrace a new paradigm. To me, this is new and completely uncomfortable. Yet it's something I want to be a part of. My desire stems from the love and the deep admiration that I held for my grandfather. I seek to be enlightened, and learn what my grandfather held so dear.
The candidate has been accepted. We will begin his initiation ceremony immediately.
I'm going to assist you in understanding all the information you need to know for the rituals.
Very well.
Nobody can read all of this and understand it within a couple hours.
Pretty good at retaining information.
We'll see. We teach people in allegories and symbols because it reaches them on a deeper level instead of just face value.
Really?
You gonna argue? The letter G.
Can stand for geometry, or God, or more non-denominationally, the Grand Master of the universe.
The square and compass.
A reminder to be fair and honest with others.
There are also appendant bodies, like the Scottish Rite, the Shriners, and the York Rite. These are very secretive amongst the public. Very few people know about them, and they're also very selective about who they allow into the order.
What about Sanctorum?
That'll have to wait.
So you know, then. Are you a member of Sanctorum?
Soon, Brother Rothwell. Soon.
Hey, congratulations, you made parole.
Just have a minute. What's up?
What do you got for me?
Right now, it's just general history, symbolism, reading allegories.
Wow, they got their hooks into you fast.
What are you talking about?
Well, listen to yourself. I mean, you're getting into it. You're going native.
Look, I'm getting close to something. Just don't worry about me.
What does that mean? You got something, give me something. I'm running a murder investigation here. Give me a little something.
Yeah, fine. Gold.
Gold? Just gold? That's it?
For now.
That's it? Gold? Thanks, partner.
Don't you have some citizens to accost?
Yeah. Just you. Gold? Gold.
What do you got?
I just checked in with the lab. There's no fingerprints.
Hey, Cyrus found a journal with that symbol on it, the Sanctorum. That mean anything to you?
It does. Let me make a call, and I'll meet you tonight.
Great, helpful. All right, call me later.
Thank you. It's time.
Just a moment, Mr. Rothwell. We're ready for you now.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Rothwell. Brother Cyrus. That is just the beginning. There's a lot more to come. Hope the old bastard hasn't fallen asleep again. Andrew, open the door.
Cyrus, I couldn't wait. Just get in.
Weed is looking for you.
Oh, screw him. I don't trust him. Just look under your seat.
Where did you get this?
My father gave it to me the night before he was murdered.
It's locked. Do you have a key?
I thought he was being crazy, but he told me to keep it in a safe place and that the key would come when the time was opportune.
When the time was opportune?
Then we find your grandfather's journal with the same symbol, same phrase.
With the key. Wow. I can't believe this.
What is it?
Are you familiar with alchemy?
The proto-science?
The theory is that one could combine chemistry and religion to produce an object known as the Philosopher's Stone. This object would then have the ability to turn base metals into gold. The papers in your father's box completed certain pages of my grandfather's journal. Together, they create
a formula for gold? That's an ancient fable.
It's a formula that your father died to protect.
All right, so what does that have to do with the Masons?
You ever hear of a guy by the name of Sir Isaac Newton?
Yeah, he discovered gravity.
Well, he also wrote over 1 million words on the subject of alchemy. He would stay up for hours on end, working in secret. And then, at the pinnacle of his career, he takes a job as the director of England's gold mint. Hardly the aspirations of one of the most brilliant scientific minds this world has ever known. He gave the rest of the formula to a trusted colleague. This way, if one or the other were ever to end up in unworthy hands, the secret would not be discovered. We are looking at Sir Isaac Newton's recipe for gold.
Are you expecting someone?
No. Hey, good timing, come in.
Time up. What's missing?
I'll tell you again. You have everything you need.
No! That holier-than-thou Freemason bullshit. Tell me what I want to know. Right now.
What do you want to know?
Go on, Master Mason. Tell the boy what I want.
His grandfather was not like yours, Cyrus. His belonged to another order. An order that fills men's minds with lies about the wickedness of Masons.
What? Never really went in for all those stories. There was one that caught my ear. How about it, Hotshot? Come across it yet?
Yes. Magic, lore, alchemy, yes.
What if I told you there's a book? And in this book, there's a little recipe. So powerful, a man will kill for it.
The answer you're looking for is not written in any book. It is held inviolate in the hearts of the righteous Mason.
The final piece of this puzzle is in that thick head of yours. Now tell me what it is, or so help me God, I'm gonna kill you right now.
Remember your oath.
Wait! Stop!
You have to be asking yourself, why did I go the extra mile to make your father suffer? There are many things that come down through the generations, but that was a gesture for my grandparents. And what are you left with now? A sizable inheritance and 1,000 empty symbols. Well, I am this close to wielding unimaginable power.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about extraordinary wealth, enough to make armies fall.
Mining base metals with alloys that create an amalgamation that turn it into
gold. Mountains of it. Enough to manipulate spending, topple governments, redirect the focus on medicine. That's what this is about. And one small group of men have the temerity to hoard it, to keep it, to spend it as only they see fit. And call it democracy. Well, it's not democracy. It's tyranny, and it stops right now. Mr. Cyrus, if you please. The narcotic salt, vitriol.
You completely lost your mind.
How did it feel when you first realized what it was? You got excited, didn't you? Yeah. You started wondering what it would be like to have that kind of power, didn't you?
It was just note fragments from long ago. I didn't think it was finished.
I'm gonna count to 3. 1.
Cyrus, whatever you do, don't tell him. Don't tell him!
2!
My father may have been nuts, but he was protecting something he believed in.
Boric acid.
What?
Boric acid.
Alone or mixed?
Alone. It's an iron phosphate.
Let me see your gun.
What are you doing? Look, I don't know what you think is going to happen here, but even with Newton's theorem intact, there are so many variables. I mean, the mineral purity
Cyrus, don't be a pessimist.
If there's one thing that I've learned through this, there are some things that science cannot explain.
Mix it. No. Come on. It's not finished. Come on. No. Come on.
Shoot. Now.
It's over, Weed. You really think they possess the formula for gold?
You have no idea. How many years?
When you sit in prison, rotting, wondering and regretting, I want you to think of something. My father was a good, noble man. You took his life. So when your hands are reaching out past those bars, I want you to remember, you're nothing but a murderer.
Please notify Lombard's immediate family.
Okay, thank you for your statements.
Thank you. We're so sorry about the Grand Master. He was a brave man.
He died a noble man.
Oh, almost forgot. This belongs in your care.
The personal writings of Sir Isaac Newton. We'll keep them safe. Thank you.
My pleasure.
See you at the lodge, Brother Rothwell.
Brother, have to get used to that. Count on it.
I have something for you. The Sanctum Aurum thanks you for protecting its secrets, Brother Rothwell.
All told, Weed killed 5 people because he wanted to believe that the formula for gold truly existed. All I had to do was convince him that it didn't.
See? Isn't this better?
I don't know where any of my stuff is now.
You'll figure it out. The Masonic Murders by Cyrus Rothwell. You got any offers yet?
Oh yeah. New York Times, Newsweek, Rolling Stone. List goes on.
Well, it's good for you, isn't it?
It's great.
What are you gonna name our little baby?
Our little baby. Oh boy. Jason Boaz.
Really? You kind of suck at fish names.
Hey, don't make fun of our little boy. Right, Jason? I want to pet him.
All right, my little marshmallow. We're gonna be late.
I'm with